Yeah. All right. This week, the Boston Globe broke some ceiling-shattering news. Women anchors are on the rise at Boston's local TV stations. Funny, I could have sworn that's been the case for 3 decades. The Boston Globe article, The Rise of the Anchor Women, is really pegged to Channel 7's announcement that Frances Rivera and Kim Casey will now permanently anchor the station's prime newscasts. If that doesn't drop your jaw, then try WGBH owner Ed Anson's explanation why 2 women are at the helm. We were running short of men, when what Anson meant was, we're running the men short.
To see that I had retired, it was never ever a discussion. I never said anything like that.
That's former Channel 7 anchor Randy Price, who made it clear he was fired and didn't voluntarily depart, as the Globe's Johnny Diaz suggests. Channel 7's Brandon Rudat was also fired, as was NECN's Tom Ellis. In fact, the Globe's online commenters seemed more informed than the reporter for this story. Same goes for this anachronistic headline.
We're happy to join you here this afternoon.
For the past 3 decades, women have held the memorable side of Boston anchor teams. Natalie Jacobson, Liz Walker, Mary Richardson, Lisa Hughes, Paula Zahn, Heather Kahn, Maria Stefanos, and Susan Warnick, to name a few. What's new and true is that there are more women, younger, attractive, and less expensive to employ. Meanwhile, the Frances Rivera-Kim Casey team has as good a shot at success as any Channel 7 anchor pair. They exist at the whim of the mercurial Ed Anson, who told the Globe the 2 women are more passionate about their work than a man might be. Anyone got a bridge for sale? You know, I just have to say, the Globe has completely abdicated its responsibility when it comes to serious media coverage. And I'm not talking just about the Boston local TV scene. They just don't do it anymore. And Johnny Diaz, I don't know him at all. He's probably a fine reporter, but media is not his beat. And this was ridiculous. First of all, it was not a front page story. I think it's terrific that Channel 7 is trying out 2 women on the local anchor day. And it's news. It's certainly worthy of names and faces. But this idea that it's some kind of a national trend is patently absurd. You know, journalism schools have been 80% or 70%, as you know, women for decades now. When I was teaching in the early 80s, it was all women. So it's just nonsense. It's not a trend. It's not cutting edge. It's nothing.
All right. Well, let's move on. Let's talk. We're all in agreement.
I think maybe he was trying to look at the Boston market. And in fairness, the Boston market has had some men of note. Some of those have been sitting in the chair next to you talking about their exit.
They were fired, but he made it sound like they quit.
And that is inappropriate. Let's talk about the fact that we know that women in those 3 decades are still not making the money that men are. I don't care. They're still not. We know that that's the deal. And that a lot of those men that might have been the ones that Ed Anson can't find might have been in television news, left for new media some time ago. Those are the ranks, and you know that's pretty male-dominated as
or venture capital.
Right.
Yeah, and to your point, I wonder if he could have done almost the opposite story, because some of the people who you showed clips of, Natalie Jacobson, Liz Walker, these people reported and were taken very seriously. And you know, not that women are not taken seriously now, but we've done stories, for example, about how all the White House correspondents from all the major networks are men. All the people on Sunday morning with those hard-hitting political shows, all men. You know, yes, there has been some opening up of the doors for women, but mostly at places like Good Morning America, mostly at places where, you know, good 80% of what's going on is total fluff and fashion shows. And I wonder if there's actually been an opening up of the stage for women who are, you know, serious and want to talk about serious things.
I've got to assume that Natalie Jacobson was well paid and well worth it when she was on as an anchor person. And so I'm wondering if this is not so much a male-female anchor situation as it is just the end of the big name, big presence, big identity anchor people. So it's interchangeable people.
That would have been a better angle. But, you know, I have to say, although I'm sure that Ed Anson could have gone out and found a male co-anchor if he had wanted to, I mean, the fact is, journalism has become a largely female business. It is true that when I look out at students, they are 80%
Why
women.
did he just say that?
And so there
Eyeballs
is that.
want babes, period. Just say that, Ed. Okay. All right, that's it for Greater Boston. If you'd like to email us, our address is greaterboston@wgbh.org. And we invite you to take our survey to let us know who you want to see on this broadcast and where you watch the show. That's on our website at greaterboston.org. Monday, retired Judge Isaac Borenstein, who has agreed to take on Ben Laguerre's case. We'll have that and more Monday at 7. For all of us, I'm Emily Rooney. Good night.